pandemic has exacerbated the need that individuals and communities have for access to the internet and all the different things it can provide, thereby kind of cementing the notion that the internet is now a human right.
During the beginning of the pandemic, the disparity in who had internet access was huge. We estimated around 30% of the city did not have access to broadband in their home.
Right now, people are relying on large corporations to get the internet, and when you look at the data, it really shows that the internet is too expensive for people in Philadelphia to afford.
One of the most significant barriers is just being able to straight out pay for internet, being able to afford it, period. This neighborhood and the city is in a deep moment of transition, and I think this is the perfect time to ask ourselves questions about what we think should be free.
Philly Community Wireless is addressing this issue by working on creating the infrastructure to build an alternative and free way for community members to access the internet in their homes.
PCW started as a response to COVID. We would reach out to different technologists, researchers, educators from different schools and organizations around the area and just basically say this is a problem. We started with North Square Park because the park has a large community-based network of already set organizations and families that have been here for a while that can speak on the neighborhood and have a strong passion.
I've been living in North Square for 11 years. I love it. It's very peaceful, quiet, and clean.
La comunidad. Cualquier cosa que tú necesites, pueden ayudarte. Está en su mano. Ellos te ayudan.
The North Square neighborhood is a place rich in history, a place where there are people of many ethnic backgrounds. Even in terms of the murals on the walls, you really feel that vibrant presence.
PCW came to me and said, hey, can you help teach us about this stuff? We've heard mesh Wi-Fi networks is a cool thing that can get access. Wanting to support their efforts, what we decided to do was Philly Whisper would provide what's called the backhaul infrastructure. Philly Whisper is a local independent internet service provider. Internet and data can be transmitted over all sorts of ways. What we use is something called fixed wireless. Two antennas have to be precision aimed at each other, but they need clear line of sight, and if they have that, they can provide very fast speeds with very high reliability.
We have an antenna on top of Gotham Tower, which is able to send out a signal throughout the entire park.
So from a Wi-Fi access point, like on the outside of this building providing service to North Square Park, that goes to a radio up on the roof, and that goes to one of our towers, and from there it goes to the data center, and then it gets out to the internet.
Companies would go out and mount multiple satellite dishes literally on top of each other. They rely on that type of individualism that kind of negates how we can share, how we can build together something that can benefit each other.
So we just installed one of our customer premise equipment antennas on the roof, aimed it at our tower, and then just kind of precision adjusted things so that we get the best signal possible.
They came in, they did a very good job on it. Everything works smooth. It's very easy for me to get in and get out the computer.
First, we were approached to see if they could install free wireless in one of our gardens.
It's just a space for folks to access different opportunities in fresh air amongst their neighbors.
We're at Las Parcelas and Colobo Gardens. The Colobo Gardens doesn't have Wi-Fi and it doesn't have electricity, so Dave Onion, his team from Holobiont Lab, has created a solar mesh node.
This is a solar generator for a mesh node, which is like a wireless access point. This solar panel charges these batteries and powers mesh access points.
With the pandemic, we got to see that people would not even consider paying extra for internet. Although there may be internet in the house, it may not be enough for 3 kids who are in school. So it's been a big problem for them.
In urban areas, large telecom companies have monopolies which means that, you know, if they set their prices at a certain rate that can't be afforded by the residents, then a lot of people just don't have access to the internet.
They give their Xfinity free internet, but that's false. You still need extra passcodes and everything to get in.
Casi todo el mundo trabaja con internet. Hay gente que no están comunicados, están fuera de internet, no están en su tiempo, como dice uno.
So that's pointing from there to, you can see the edge of Gotham Tower over there.
I would say the significance of a community-owned network versus something like Verizon Comcast is that people have more of a say in how the process is run.
I may be able to get free internet, but by me setting this up here, my neighbor will also be able to get free internet. That we kind of like build and kind of create this resource, you know, like for each other.
The community gets to decide and figure out how they want to use it, how they want to build it, how they want to set it up. And it's not just for a very large company to make money off it.
As we work towards creating a larger community hub here at North Square, this is going to be like transformational, creating like a plaza where folks can come and gather together and share information digitally and just in talking with one another.
North Square Community Alliance offers digital literacy classes to low-income individuals within our community and those that are not English-speaking. In partnership with Philly Wireless, this allows us to get the skills to the people that need them and then also allow us to provide them low-income or free internet in the area.
PCW and the library are very much on the same page in terms of wanting to get informational connectivity to our neighbors regardless of their ability to afford paid access.
When individuals own the power to provide other resources to their neighbors, that's like when real change happens. We're able to realize that like we don't have to rely on these entities that are going to monopolize how those resources are shared.
We don't see a downside. We have free Wi-Fi. We can share it with anyone who walks through the door. We can even share it with other houses because we're helping increase the signal.
Try it out. I know they're not going to regret it. They're going to love it. Even a kid could turn it on, get into the computer. It's very easy.
If anyone has any hesitation, they could just come and check out what we've done and just come and ask us about it.
My hope is that we can successfully build a tech safety net in all of the most red-line districts of Philadelphia.
And be a way that Philadelphians can actually be proud of their city for sustaining something like this, that we aren't all just consumers of what the big corporations have in store for us, but we can support each other and be interconnected.
My hope for the project and for community organizations in general is that this becomes more of a thing in order for there to be more of a community-owned network of not just Wi-Fi, but just of all resources that are needed.
In roughly 17 to 20-ish states, there's actually state laws that prohibit municipal internet service. So what I would love to see, and it would actually put Philly Whisper out of business, and I'd be okay with it, would be municipal internet throughout the country.
Here, the incentive is not to make profit, but for there to be broader digital literacy in those communities so that they have equitable access to like information that could vastly improve their lives.
Yo espero que se mantenga y que mucha gente pues, tenga acceso a él, no en diferentes áreas, sino en toda área.